As an emerging social movement, urban community-based agriculture is still an under-researched area, which can make it difficult for new participants to get involved at the local level. California lacks a central, organized, virtual platform to integrate this information. My app is aimed to utilize geographic information systems to construct an interactive mobile application to serve as a resource for those individuals that wish to connect and establish and emerge a new urban agricultural practice in their lives, primarily focusing on farmers markets. This application will allow users to search for registered farmers markets through the USDA's API, as well as allowing the opportunity to submit new market locations through implementations of volunteer geographic information. Well, at least that was the aim of the app. A brief explanation of how it was built and implemented. The central app was supposed to house or feature 5 different farmers market from California in the Los Angeles areas, and through those features it'll give you additional information that's available through the API that explains what produce and what the hours of operations these markets facilitate. And it executes and opens so that you can get directions through Google Maps using Google Maps API. Originally, the idea was to use Esri and to use feature layers that I had actually collected and constructed through a web map. However, due to issues with programming, Google actually was a lot easier. The additional features of the app includes a farmers market directory, which would be a map with all of the different pinpoints of the farmers markets. And that's where really the USDA API is executed, where it has that as a layer and it actually shows you can click and get details of the markets and even proceed to get directions. Unfortunately, due to parsing of the JSON file, because the actual format of the API from the USDA is not a very Android-friendly format, I was not able to execute it in that form. I was, however, able to make a very simple data search app that you input your zip code and it'll give you a list of the different markets based on that search query, and then you can proceed to click on the activities until you reach the map hyperlink, and it'll lead you again to Google Maps where you can get directions to get there. Not aesthetically as nice, but it was functional. Fortunately, that was not linked to the central or the main app that you see executing. And then the last feature is the opportunity for volunteer geographic information, which means you can submit your own details of a new farmer's market. You found one that you didn't find on the registry, you can go ahead and submit those details there. As you can see, the document that was created, very simple, and it doesn't execute right. It was, I was having issues. Actually, it's called Fulcrum. It's this really awesome data collection app that already exists that helps you manage data, which allows you to make your own formatted data collection set. And then you can load it on the internet and load it to the app, and it's mobile and it updates immediately, and you can even have offline options. So it's a really great platform for it. Unfortunately, again, I was having issues being able to utilize that web service in this actual app, the central main app. So as you can see, I have a collection of about 4 different apps that will eventually be integrated. The critical structural components are there in the main app. I just haven't gotten to the point where I am knowledgeable enough with the code to make it run as smooth as these individual apps are. So, the main data integrated is basically just the farmers market APIs and then mapping Google Maps. There is tabular data that was constructed to collect information for the new farmers market, but for the most part, the USDA API is the main source of data. And had a few issues, well, I had a lot of issues with it, but it was actually, I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm understanding the language a lot better than I did before, and I look forward to applying this to my thesis. Thank you for listening.